My name is Ben. I am here with Dora and Melissa, and today we are representing Team Annie, and we are here to present you SafeStep. Now, according to the Bureau of Justice Statistics, 66.4% of all violent crimes occur away from the victim's home. And according to our private survey, 75% of people feel unsafe when they're in unfamiliar areas. So what this means to us is if we can give people more awareness into those unfamiliar areas and maybe make them a bit more familiar, we can help prevent them from becoming the next victim of a violent crime or a property crime. So that is exactly why we created SafeStep. Now, today, Dora is going to be presenting the value, product, and markets. Melissa will be presenting marketing, competition, and development, and I will close with management, finance, and offering.
So what is SafeStep? Well, at its core, SafeStep's mission is to empower our users to make safer travel decisions through clear and transparent data. And our value really comes in threefold. First, we are accessible. We take complicated government crime statistics, we compile, we aggregate, and we interpret it, and then we put it in a very user-friendly heat map format. Second, we provide a sense of security. Now more than ever, people want to feel safe, and with SafeStep, they have the power to be aware of their surroundings and have a sense of security no matter what location they're in. Finally, we are the first to the market. Currently, there is no other mobile application on the marketplace that takes complicated government statistics, compiles them, and puts them out in a comprehensible manner. And this is really great because we know that with our experience, we can continue to innovate and outpace any competitor. Now moving on to our product. Our product is based in our back end with our algorithm. So what our algorithm does is it takes a region and looks at both the property crime and the violent crime in the area. And doing this, it compares it to all other regions in different cities within the United States. And we come up with what we call our safety ranking, and this is a percentile system. And taking this percentile, we then transition over to our front end. And our front end is based around our heat map. So we have different regions and cities, and each region will be shaded based on our color gradient ranking system, which goes from red, meaning least safe, to green, most safe. Another important part of our app is our live feed. So we understand that users these days want to feel updated and informed at all times. Therefore, they will be able to see all the crimes that are occurring around them within a half-a-mile radius of their current location. And now finally, we also have personalization. We at SafeStep understand that each user is different in their comfort levels with safety. Therefore, they are allowed to toggle their own personal heat map to adjust the colors based on their personal preference. Personalization also really comes into a big part in our rollout features, which will be coming in the future, one of which is our emergency contacts. So a potential user could put down 5 emergency contacts, and if they're in an area that they feel unsafe or uncomfortable in, they could automatically send their location and call them with just one click of a button. And this really plays into our mission of making you feel secure no matter where you go. Now to talk about our customers themselves, we have broken them down into 3 main segments. The first is tourists. So we at SafeStep understand that tourism is a booming market. According to the U.S. Travel Association, tourism is worth around $947.1 billion as of 2015, and our target market, leisure traveling, is worth $650.8 billion. So as tourists navigate cities that they don't know, they can have the security of home in their pocket and be aware of their surroundings. Our second target market is university students, especially those attending school in large metropolitan areas. We understand that once college students get onto campus, they're going to want to explore the area around, but we also give them the opportunity to prioritize their own safety and continue to have fun. Finally, our last target market is parents. We all know that parents prioritize the safety of their children above all else. And as their children grow up, become teenagers, and go out to explore new areas, we give parents the opportunity to explore and understand the surroundings that their children are going to, so they can prioritize the safety of their family and the security of their children. I'm now going to pass it over to Melissa, who will be talking about marketing.
Thank you, Dora. So because we have 3 major targeted audiences, our marketing campaign is also going to have multiple sectors. First, we're going to target tourists through partnerships with travel agencies such as Expedia. And then we're going to put advertisements into travel magazines and in airports where tourists usually travel through. Second, we're going to be targeting college students through word of mouth, because we believe that this demographic is more prone to listen to information from their peers. So we're going to be hiring and drafting in campus ambassadors to give speeches to the incoming freshmen. Then we're going to be targeting parents and adults by using community marketing. This is in the form of paper ads and putting in and giving speeches in community centers such as YMCA, libraries, and even schools. So who are our competitors? Well, we've identified many personal safety applications in our marketplace, but we think that these are only our indirect competition because we differentiate ourselves from them in one key way. We're the first application in our marketplace to combine accessibility and precautionary assets into one personal safety application. What that means is that we're different from WatchOverMe and VithView in that these applications are after-the-fact applications, meaning that they only notify the users and help them attain contact to the emergency services after they have already walked into an area that they feel dangerous in. However, our application is different. We encourage our users to become more proactive about their safety, meaning that they will take measures to educate themselves about the areas that they're traveling through before they're actually in danger. We also differentiate ourselves from government data applications such as the ones in the United States and the United Kingdom, because while these applications give accurate data, they don't provide it in a way that is accessible or user-friendly, and that can be very deterring for some people. So for development, we've already chosen our key cities to launch in, that being Chicago, Miami, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and also Philadelphia. And this being said, we plan our launch date to be April of next year, 2017, and we chose this time period because we believe that we need to catch the peak season of the tourism season. And that was during the summer when people travel a lot and go on vacation. Next, we're planning on updating our app and providing additional features that Dora previously mentioned. And then we plan on expanding into international markets. I'll be passing this on to Ben to talk about our management team and also our financials.
Thank you, Melissa. So we understand that you investors are here today to invest in our app, but what we really think you're investing in is our team. We have an incredible team with lots of experience in business and startups. And so at the head of our team, we have Guillermo Castro Dominguez. He's our visionary leader and has a lot of plans for our future, and we're very happy to have him leading our team. Then for operations, we have Courtney and Dora, who both have experience at startups and experience running the operation behind an app. Then Alec, Melissa, and Kosara are all extremely outgoing and are great with dealing with college ambassadors and people to get our name out there. Kevin and Alex are the head of the engineering department, and they helped come up with our algorithm that allows us to compile statistics in an accurate and easy to read way. Then I'm working with William in R&D to help work with the outsourced programmers that we will be hiring. So for our R&D budget, we understand that coding is extremely important, so we plan on outsourcing some top-notch coders, and that is why we plan on hiring 3 programmers for R&D for an annual cost of $625,000. We understand that this is very expensive, but again, R&D is the backbone of our app, and so we feel that it is a safe bet on our side. Then we looked at other apps and the way they allocate their funding, and most apps that we found allocate approximately half of the R&D budget towards marketing and sales, and then half of that budget towards general and administrative, so that is exactly what we plan to do. They also allocate approximately 10% of their annual revenue towards marketing and advertising, and so we decided to do the same thing, and it gradually goes down from 10.6% to 10.2% over our 5-year projections. For our revenue, we plan on not introducing advertisements in the first 2 years because we want to make sure we have a strong user base before we include that into our revenue stream. Now, on app stores, apps are listed as 99 cents, and that is what we plan on listing our app for. But it is important to note that stores like Apple and Google Play, they take 30% of all revenue. So we will actually only be making 69.3 cents for every download, but that is okay because in the 5 cities we are launching in, they have approximately 250 million tourists traveling there every year. So if we get a small percentage of them to download our app within the first 2 years, we will have lots of revenue. And then with advertisements, if we wait until year 2, we will have plenty of tourists using our app and college students and parents, so advertisements will be able to make a lot of revenue for us. So we are asking from you guys $1 million in funding so we can pay our employees for the first year, get our name out, and then we have a little bit of extra cash because our projections could be wrong and the market is extremely unpredictable. So we hope you can help us raise awareness one safe step at a time. Thank you very much for listening.
So, great. I actually think this company has a really great chance of succeeding. Definitely solves a very clear need in the marketplace. And if what you say is true, I believe you wouldn't be, I've done your homework, that you don't really have any direct competitors, and that's pretty surprising. And I would imagine there's a pretty large desire for something like this. My main question is for those of you who are thinking about product. The product, as I see it, is really about creating data awareness and rating the application. Was there anything, if you're familiar with Waze and the way communities are contributing to the actual information, I just think that there's possibly something more that could be a better solution even on top of what you have conceptualized thus far.
So at the moment, we recognize that one of the main reasons that users enjoy Waze is the social aspect. Communicating and contributing to each other's experience on the road. However, with the initial launch, we want to keep the app as simple and streamlined as possible.
So we did have like a previous competitor, but that failed precisely because it was crowdsourced. And so many of the opinions were subjective and it caused a lot of controversy. So we want to keep all our data as objective as possible so that we become a trustworthy app that people can rely on.
Great presentation. So one thing I was shocked that you guys didn't bring up, and I'm curious if you thought through it, and if you did, maybe it just didn't end up in the presentation, it might be in your deck here, but a lot of this has to do with obviously getting people to download the app, right? So there's how you're gonna get that into as many people's hands as possible. Surprisingly, I didn't hear anything about things like strategic partnerships, say with like a travel insurance company or a Priceline or a licensing deal with providers that are already out there. Is there a reason why you feel that going direct to consumer versus direct through middlemen is a better strategy?
So what we wanted to do in the beginning, we put a lot of thought into that. We mentioned some big travel agencies like Expedia. We wanted to try to build it up, get some movement first with our user bases, particularly with tourists in magazines, airports, etc. And then eventually we wanted to try to target the travel agencies such as Expedia, Priceline, whatever that may be. Another issue is the 99 cents. A lot of people were talking about that. We may try to roll out a free promotional offer, a free time offer where you can get 1 month free, and then once the user will feel like they've downloaded, they'll download the app. Then it's going to be hard to take it away. So they may want to pay the subscription or the 99 cents.
So I agree. This is a very cool app and really well thought out. But I would also piggyback on the comments about the target market and going direct to consumer. This, to me, would have been a perfect idea and concept for the upcoming Olympics in Rio, which is all about safety, all the concerns about people not going to Rio for safety concerns. And have you guys thought about potentially targeting big institutions like the Olympics Committee to actually fund the development of the app and then being able to allow it to be a free download for consumers in their kind of native countries and markets?
Yes, we very much did think about that, but we planned that we would do that after, for example, 2 years, when our user base is large enough and our offer would be compelling to them, because we do think that that would be very good, not just for them, because it add value to their service, and it would be very good marketing to show that they don't just want the profit, they also care about their consumers, and it would bring us a lot of advertising, but we feel that until our user base is large enough, we wouldn't be able to get an offer we need, and we wouldn't be able to compel them.
Well, with an event like the Olympics, which has a large attendee, they already have the attendees there. This could have been something that they directly want, right? So it's private label.
We think that it would be difficult to make something like that happen until we're well established as a platform. And then also we wanted, in the first few years, to keep it as simplified as possible in terms of whether or not we should develop overseas.
Nice job, guys. I read an article recently that some very affluent and nice and traditionally very safe areas in San Francisco are dealing with a lot of break-ins and petty theft. There's a huge heroin epidemic in the country now, and they're tying into that. So people looking for quick things to steal and be able to sell. So it looks like a lot of your data is coming from police departments, the government. I'd be a little concerned, I'd like to hear you guys sort of expound on this a little bit, but I'd be a little bit concerned about some of that data being old and stale. You know, so if you get off a plane, you drop into San Francisco, and you're walking in an area that SafeStep, incidentally, I think the name is great, tells you is safe, but because the data is old, but there's been a rash of break-ins, and you come back to your rental car, and all the windows are shattered out. That's obviously a huge problem. So talking about the real-time nature of your data.
So our data is our update every 6 months. So there are like fresh data coming from local police department, and the police department have to make sure that all the data are real, so there's no like fraud or fake data issue. And then since the data update, you don't no concern has already been addressed by our algorithm.
6 months, I think. Yeah. So, you know, so if you're a tourist coming to whatever neighborhood, you say, you know, I rented a car, I got SafeStep, I feel secure, and the windows are broken in, you're not going to be so happy about it. Until like 6 months.
Yes, and we did think about that, and that the map itself would be updated possibly every 6 months, but actually the police give out reports every single week, and so that would be very easy to access through our app as well, because that would be like a feature of our app. And in terms of the property crime, because it's hard to compare property crime and violent crime, we would have 2 maps that you would be able to choose between, because in some affluent areas of San Francisco, maybe violent crime wouldn't be that prominent, but property crime would, and would still be an interest for our consumers.